What's the process that Belichick is referring to when he was asked about why it seemed like there were multiple play callers in the first preseason game, and what is the process that you can tell me?
The process as it stands is the Patriots are trying to move away from the offense they had so much success with because it's just too friggin' complicated, Rich. Okay, the Earhart-Perkins offense that Charlie Weiss installed with Drew Bledsoe and Tom Brady, and then it got tuned up added to the playbook to the point where they couldn't draft a wide receiver because it was too complicated for any of them to master. And every wide receiver they had either developed because they were a quarterback, Julian Edelman or Jacoby Myers, or because they had been in the league for 5 years and then came here and was pertinent. So I think the Patriots, after Josh McDaniels and Tom Brady departed, said, you know what, good time to reboot this whole thing. And that's what they're in the process of doing, trying to make it a little bit more user-friendly. But in so doing, they're taking some steps back. It's looking shaky in practices. And the cooks in the kitchen are two guys who have not really installed offenses nor been dedicated offensive coaches, and that's Matt Patricia as the de facto OC at the moment, it seems, and Joe Judge as the play caller. Excuse me, as the quarterback coach.
Okay.
Can I ask
How do you like
a question?
that? That was pretty good. Distillation.
Brockman, you want to chime in here, huh? Right away. The first question. Okay,
Tom,
go for it.
It's August 15th. We've played one preseason game. Is it too late to fire Matt and Joe and get someone who knows what they're doing?
Come on, man.
I see this in this instance. I have some empathy for their situation.
Yeah, of course.
Because this is a Bill Belichick directed decision that we're going to do this. And I can't imagine, look, the Giants weren't going through the season last year, and Bill was saying, oh, I can't wait till Joe gets relieved of duty so he can come here and be the offensive coordinator. This was not what they planned on. So these guys are kind of foisted into positions that I don't think are necessarily setting them up to succeed. How's that? Of a diplomatic way to put it.
Well, but I mean,
so
Bill knows.
Than normal.
But Bill knows. I mean, this is not his first rodeo by any stretch. He's got to at least think that they're able to handle it. Otherwise, he wouldn't go down this road and right. I mean, like, there's no way that he would go down this road and then find out just before the season that they can't handle it. He's got to believe that they can. Otherwise, he wouldn't put him in that position. I know that sounds like an in Bill we trust, but you got to, you know.
Well, I think that when you say it's not Bill's first rodeo, and that's why he does things like this, because he's been at the rodeo so long that he can do unconventional things, and people go, well, he knows what he's doing. And, yeah, he does. He's the most accomplished, successful coach in, really, if you measure it all up, certainly the Super Bowl era and maybe ever. And you could maybe even say American professional sports. However, he's not been on a hot streak since about 2017. There was a Super Bowl in there. There was also a Super Bowl benching of a cornerback that probably cost him that game. There was a mismanagement of the Tom Brady dismount. There was the notion that Jimmy Garoppolo was going to be the successor, and he's not really a good successor. So I think overall he's a genius. He's excellent, but he makes mistakes too. But he does have enough goodwill, or he presumes there's enough goodwill built up to go ahead and say, you know what, I'll just let these two guys who are mostly defensive guys do it. I just look at it and say, would he have ever done this in 2000 or 2001? Said, you know what, I'm just going to put these guys over there and we'll just put it in this whole new offense and see how it goes. Absolutely not.
No, of course not. But I guess things are it's a different scenario now, and that's the thing that I think that is really mystifying a lot of Patriots fans, Tom Curran, is that why would he turn to two guys who haven't really done it before? Why would he, although they're very trusted people for him and smart people, why would he turn the keys of Mac Jones at such a crucial part of his career, crossroads, if you will, for his career, to two guys who have not really done that before? They're not known as quarterback whisperers. Can you give me the why of it?
The longer Bill goes, the smaller his circle becomes, believe it or not. The hard place to work. The pay is not great. The hours are extreme. The expectations are even more extreme. And when we look at the outflow of whether it be coaches or personnel folks, from an already kind of small staff, it's significant. Name guys like Jed Fish, who was a quarterback's coach here for a year, and he left. Bo Hardigree, quarterback's coach. Mick Lombardi. This is in addition to Flores and McDaniels and Patricia and Judge, who left and bounced back. Nick Caley's a tight ends coach right now. He was blocked from leaving. And he probably would have been a good candidate to be play caller or offensive coordinator. But I think the Patriots are concerned. Reportedly, Albert Breer had said this. The Patriots are concerned he's going to leave, so they're not going to entrust him with being the offensive coordinator. So it's a hard place to work. I just don't think Bill has a massive pool of candidates at this point who are beating down the door to come and coach for the New England Patriots.
So what is, because today it was asked of Belichick, that was our today's Bill Belichick press conference moment that we played at the end of hour number 2, and he was asked, is it a competition that's going on? And he said it was not a competition between the two gents who were headset wearers when the offense was on the field on Thursday night. So what is it? Why are both guys calling plays? What do you think, Tom?
My theory is that Patricia's going to do it until Judge is more attuned to having play calling ability and understanding. See, because Patricia has been a defensive coordinator for many years, so he understands the in-game adjustments and communications that have to go on and the understanding of all that. However, Joe Judge has much more of an offensive background, having both played the position and coached the wide receivers here for a year. So Judge has been studying as a play caller all spring. But instead of putting him throwing him in the deep end of the pool, they're allowing him to kind of apprentice. That's my theory. And I asked Judge about it today, and he said, look, all I can tell you is, and be transparent, is I just come here and do what the head coach wants. So for whatever that gets you. But that's my working theory as to what's going to happen, because Patricia's the assistant offensive line coach as well. Why would they spend time with Joe Judge working on play calling if there wasn't a desire to make him the play caller?
Oh, man.
This is not inspiring, Tom.
It's like a slapping it out there, a vibe to it. And I think the Patriots, remember how Belichick said him and Jimmy Johnson would talk, and they said, you can eliminate all but 10 teams every year from winning the Super Bowl. Teams just aren't well run. They don't have good personnel. They have bad ownership. They're just going to run themselves aground. It's only about 10 teams. And I think the Patriots and Bill Belichick has a belief, look, we're not just rolling it out there. We're giving a full effort. But we're going to walk into 6 to 7 wins anyway. Maybe we'll win 10. I'm sure that they don't believe that they are Super Bowl contenders right now. But I really do think this is a bridge year for 2023 when they have more cap space and they have this offense installed completely and understand what it's going to look like. I really feel like this is a reset year in the same way the Cam Newton year was.